The Indian Railways has vast resources and infrastructure funded with the taxpayers' money. All these resources are very attractive to the prying private sector. There is a strong public opinion against the government's move to privatize the railways, along with resistance from trade unions. In this video, we'll try to understand why we must save Indian Railways and why is it the lifeline of not just its employees and passengers but the entire nation. As on March 2017, Indian Railways has a land holding of 11.42 lakh acres across the country. There are 2,77,987 freight wagons, 70,937 passenger coaches and 11,452 locomotives with the Indian Railways. 13,000 passenger trains are run daily by the railways carrying 2.3 billion passengers. There are about 13,08,000 employees working with the railways. In the year 2017-18, the total revenue of the railways was Rs 1,87,400 crores. Indian Railways connects three countries, Nepal, Pakistan and Bangladesh to India. We know that in North America, Europe and other countries, travel by rail network is costlier than air travel. The Indian Railways cater to the poor and middle class population by providing cheaper fares through subsidization. Privatization will take away the benefit of most reliable mode of travel for the common man. Indian Railways subsidize passengers from the profit of goods earnings. The railways incur an expenditure of 100 rupees for a travel it charges only 53 rupees and subsidizes 47 rupees from goods earnings. Apart from this, there are 55 concessions extended to passengers including senior citizen concession, patients concession, students, youth, kisan, media person concessions, etc. Lakhs of vendors will also lose their lifeline with privatization. As per the CAG report, all classes are making losses except AC 3-tier and AC chair car. Modi government in its national infrastructure pipeline has proposed 500 private trains before 2025. By March 2023, 151 trains on 109 routes will be under the process of privatization. These private trains will have only AC 3-tier and AC chair car which make profit. There won't be general second class or sleeper class for lower and middle class people. The private players will have freedom to fix their rates. There will not be any concession available for the passengers. There is also a condition that the Indian Railways would not run any train an hour before or after the private trains. Though they declare that private trains will run 160 km per hour, they have timetables to run only 50 to 80 km per hour. And all these are profit-making routes. In this way, Indian Railways will be left with only some goods trains and loss-making passenger trains. Railways will run only the loss-making routes. All the profit will go to private sector and all the loss to the Indian Railways. Besides this, 30% of goods trains will be handed over to the private sector by 2025. This will further deteriorate the finances of the railways. It will become impossible for the Indian Railways to give concessions to the passengers. In fact, it will become difficult to pay salary and pension. At present, 500 passenger trains have been converted into express trains, depriving the rural people to access towns for marketing, employment and studies. They also intend to privatize 30% of railway stations by 2025. At present, average speed of goods train is 25 km per hour and the average speed of passenger trains is 50 km per hour. Tickets are not available on demand. There is a dire need of heavy investment in railways without which the tracks are already congested. Running of private trains in this situation cannot be possible unless they cancel many trains run by the Indian Railways. The government investment is decreasing in every budget. From the announcement of 50 lakh crore investment, it came down to only 37,000 crore in the year 2019-20. Gross neglect of investment leads to destruction of infrastructure, leading to derailments and accidents. The motto of Indian Railways has been to run faster and safer trains at affordable cost to the general public of this country. The present policy of neglect of investment and privatization of existing routes will only destabilize this motive. The experience of other countries shows that privatization leads to destabilizing the railways. In fact, renationalization is taking place in several countries. Indian Railways has 12.2 lakh permanent employees with 2.4 lakh SC employees and 1 lakh ST employees. If privatized, these permanent employment opportunities and social justice will be affected. Already in the view of privatization, railways have surrendered 50% of 3 lakh vacancies. It has also put on hold recruitment process of 1.3 lakh candidates. It has decided to freeze dearness allowance for employees and pensioners. It is also to cut 50% of travelling allowance besides cutting incentive, bonus and running allowances. Privatization will also affect salaries and pensions of employees. It may affect railways the way BSNL and Air India were affected. In the interest of the nation, the people and the workers have to unite in the fight against the destruction of the railways. Save railways, save the nation. Save public sector and save India.